Hello, fourth grade. Today we're going to be talking about frequency tables. You need to have your textbook and a pencil with you. The lesson we're going to do today is in the back of the book like yesterday's was. So you need to go all the way to the back and find IN 21. Now the question on this page talks about all of us doing 30 seconds and trying to write as many three-letter words as we can and then kind of seeing how many each of us wrote. But since we're not together, that's a little bit hard. So I thought of looked around and came up with a different topic that I'm going to do a frequency table over. And then if you wanted to try to find something, you could kind of look around your house too and see if you can find something to make a frequency table on. And what I discovered in my basement was a bag of jelly beans. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort these jelly beans into all the different colors and then make a frequency table over that. Okay, well I've sorted them and now I'm ready for my table. Now your table is going to have 3 sections. Okay, the first section I'm just going to label color. The second one we're going to do our tallies. And for the third section, we're going to count up those tallies and we're going to know the exact number that we have. Okay, so we have blue jelly beans, kind of a dark red, orange, call this lighter one kind of a pink, green, and yellow. Okay, blue, I've got 2 blues, they get 2 marks. Red, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, so 4 tally marks, 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 3 orange, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pink, 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember when you get to the 5th one, you do the line across, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 yellow, and 1 green. So those are our tallies. And then just the third column of your frequency table, you just count those tallies up. So we had 2 blue, 4 red, 3 orange, 5 pink, 1 green, and, sorry, that was 6 pink, and 5 yellow. And that is all you do for a frequency table. Now, normally frequency tables are used like when you survey somebody, you ask them a question. Like if we were all together, I might say, what's your favorite flavor of jelly bean? And then ask you different flavors like watermelon, orange, strawberry, and you would raise your hand up for your favorite, and then as I'm counting them, I would make my tallies, add those tallies up at the end, and we could figure out the answer to what is the favorite flavor of jelly beans for 4th grade. Or what's your favorite subject in school? Or what's your favorite outdoor activity? You have to think of a survey question that is not a yes or no question. Ask them and you can collect your data and organize it onto. Now let's look at Indiana 22 together. Again, we start our frequency table with a good question. It says some questions can be answered by collecting data. You can collect data using surveys, observations, or experiments. Like I could do an experiment like what's the most popular color of car that goes down my street? And every time I see a white car, make a tally, or a green car, or a blue car. So you could do it through observations. Again, you could survey friends or family with a question, or you could conduct an experiment. We might use a frequency table in a science class. A survey involves asking different people the same question, like, what's your favorite flavor of jelly bean? Pizza Plus wants to sponsor a high school sports team. What team should they sponsor? So they came up with their question. Which of these high school sports teams do you think Pizza Plus should sponsor? They gave the people they were surveying 3 options: basketball, soccer, and volleyball. They made a frequency table to organize their answers after they've surveyed people. Make a tally chart and record the data as the people answer the survey question. Then count the tallies and complete a frequency table. So you can see that there were 8 people who said, hey, let's sponsor basketball, 14 for soccer, and 5 for volleyball. Step 2, analyze the data to answer the question. says soccer is the team chosen by the most people, so Pizza Plus should sponsor the soccer team. It was the most popular answer, and that frequency table and survey helped us know which of those teams might be the best option. Now let's look at the convince me. It says from the survey above, do you know whether or not people thought Pizza Plus should sponsor the high school softball team? Why or why not? Take a minute and think about that. Go back to the frequency table. What did the people think about softball team? Well, the answer to that question is we don't know. We can't tell if they wanted to sponsor it or not because they didn't give softball as an option. Sorry, all you softball fans. So we can't tell from this one because that was not a choice on our survey. Okay, let's look at the next page. Now again, the first important step when you're doing a frequency table and organizing your data that you collect is coming up with a good question. It should not be a yes or no question. It should be a question that involves having different options. So let's look at the two questions they came up with. The first one is, what type of material do you like to use when you're doing artwork? Do you want to use pencil, charcoal, marker, or paint? Their second question was this picture of the ocean painted? Now the first question about what is your favorite type of artwork material is a good question because we could ask people and give them those options and they could choose their favorite. The second question is a bad question because you just look at the picture and say yes it was painted or no it wasn't. It's a photograph. So that's a bad one. Everybody should say the same answer. So again, you want to come up with a question that has a few options where you might get several different people giving different answers. Like if I ask you all, what's your favorite sport? I'm going to get a variety of answers. I can tell you what some of your answers would be. But if I ask you each, what grade are you in? Everybody's going to say the same grade, so that would be a really bad question. Okay, let's look at number 1. It says write a question about a school band that can be answered by collecting and analyzing data. So if I got a whole group of people who are all in the same band, what question could I ask them? Well, I could ask them, like, what instrument do you play? Because they're going to play different instruments. Then we might find out if there are more people who play the trumpet or the clarinet. We could say, okay, you guys learned 4 new songs this year. What's your favorite song? And give them those 4 options. Okay, then it says, how could you collect data to answer the question you wrote for item number 1? Again, we could go to the band students and we could ask them to raise their hand when we say, do you play the clarinet? Do you play the tuba? Make our frequency table and collect our data. Okay, let's look at this question. Here it says use the tally chart. This is our favorite type of TV show. Do you like action, animated, or comedy? How many people prefer comedies? So you go up to the comedy and you count your tallies. Now remember when we go 1, 2, 3, 4, slash through it, that's a group of 5. So we can just go 5 and then add the other slashes next to it, tallies, 6, 7, 8. There are 8 people who like comedies. Okay, let's look at the bottom. It says Anna saw 15 balls in the storage room. For 4 and 5, collect and analyze and organize your data to find out what type of balls Anna saw. Okay, she's already did her tallies for this storage bin. Baseballs, let's see how many she found. She found 5, 6, 7. We have 1, 2, 3 basketballs. Soccer, there's just that group of 5. Okay. Did Anna count more baseballs than soccer balls and basketballs combined? Explain. So what we want to do is compare the number of baseballs. And if we look at our frequency table, baseballs, there are 7. And we're going to compare that to the soccer balls plus the basketballs. In soccer, we had 5. Basketballs, we had 3, so that's 8. Now it said, did she count more baseballs than soccer balls and basketballs combined? And the answer is no, because she had 8 of the soccer and basketball together and 7 baseballs. Okay, let's look at a couple problems on the back. Here we have another frequency table that someone has did. says Mr. Hansen wants to know if students prefer reading from a book, an e-reader, or a computer. He provides the 3 reading instruments and assigns students a title to read. Then he recorded what each student chose. Mr. Hansen's results are shown in the tally chart. Number 6 says, complete the last column of the frequency table. So we're just needing to put the number here in the frequency table. So again, we have 5, 6, 7. Then we have 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then 4 tallies for computer. So we had 7 who wanted to read from a book, 14 from an e-reader like a Nook or something, and 4 from their computer. Now it says reasoning. Based on Mr. Hansen's data, which reading instrument do students prefer? So basically, which one got the most votes? Which one do the students choose more often? And we can see e-reader. We know that because it has more people who chose it. You could say more people chose this option. Okay, now let's look at a couple things at the bottom. It says, write a question about pizza toppings that could be answered by collecting and analyzing data. Now, what we don't want to ask is a yes or no question like, do you like pizza? That's just one option, yes or no. So we don't want that. We don't want to ask them, did you have pizza yesterday? That would be, again, yes, I did or no, I didn't. You want to come up with something that would have options. So, like, what's your favorite pizza topping? Because then you could say, is it pepperoni or green peppers or my favorite, mushrooms? Or maybe you just want to ask them if they just want cheese on it. That's a good question. And then what would we do to collect that data? Well, we could get a group of friends and we could Zoom them and we could ask each of them to raise their hand when they like or put into the chat what's their favorite pizza topping. That would be a good option. Or you could call up 10 people if you were doing a survey and ask them this question. Okay, guys, I hope you are ready for a wonderful month of May. Have a great day.